Hello everyone, it's Mitch again, and what brought this video into mind was me thinking about the short attention span and short memory, or even shorter memory, of the American people. Then I realized it's not so much the attention span and memory of the American people, it's the memory of the GOP, the Republicans. And by that, I mean, let's take Mark Foley, for example. Everybody remember Mark Foley, the Republican from Florida that was sexually abusing young boys' pages in Washington, D.C.? Well, because he's a Republican, we haven't heard much about him. He's doing whatever, quietly swept under the rug. Shh, because he's GOP. Now, take, for example, had Foley been a Democrat, the Republicans, Fox News, every so-called pundit would be hammering this guy and attacking him with the veracity of wild coyotes. But because he's a Republican, forget about that. Mark Foley should be in prison for what he did. But he got away with that with the knowledge of the Republican Party for years. It's disgraceful. That's the party of family values. They allowed this man to abuse our children and get away with it. And he would still be getting away with it if it were left to the GOP. But he gets a pass. Now, if he were a Democrat, they would be riding this guy into the dirt. And Mark Foley should be in prison. Rudy Giuliani, another family values guy. Remember when he was the mayor of New York, how he brought his girlfriend home and had her at the mayor's mansion in New York City while his wife was there? Now there's family values. Now he's the front runner for the presidential nominee, Republican presidential nominee. A guy that was parading his mistress around, photographed with her, while he was married to his wife. Now, if this guy were a Democrat, all presidential hopes would be out the window. But because he's GOP, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about 9/11 and the way he led. Well, we're also not going to mention, I guess, that Rudy Giuliani did nothing to help the communications of that fateful day. You see, they knew that the communications had flaws and problems. They had tested it. They knew. It was Rudy's responsibility to make sure that it got fixed. It didn't. So a lot of innocent people died needlessly, thanks to Rudy. But because he's a Republican, we're not going to focus on that. Now, if he were a Democrat, there'd still be talks going on the Bill O'Reilly show and all this kind of stuff. It would be maddening. Let's take Ann Cutler, for example, next. She called the victims, the wives of men that died on 9/11, called them harpies, said they were enjoying their fame of the dead husbands and all kind of other bullshit like that. Shameless. And her reward, she got to sell books. A lot of them, from what I understand. I wouldn't dare touch one of them for the filth that I'm afraid would get on my skin. But she was on talk shows, constantly on Fox and talk shows, morning talk shows. And it's not uncommon for people to bring awareness or to put their energy into something after they lose a loved one. I mean, people do it all the time. That's how we got Mothers Against Drunk Driving. We got people that get involved with bringing awareness of autism to the public, breast cancer, all sorts of things. You know, people do that when they want to bring awareness to an issue. So that's not unusual. Now, let's say, for example, that those very same women were campaigning for George Bush, not John Kerry. We wouldn't have heard a word from Ann Cutler other than praise for those women. And if Al Franken had said the same things that Ann Cutler said, he would have been demonized in the Republican Party. There would have been nightly news on Fox beating his head in over and over again with the words, But because Ann Cutler is a GOP mouthpiece, she gets a pass. That's despicable. That's horrible. Let's take Rush Limbaugh, our fat bastard. No, wait a minute. It is Rush Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh. He criticized people with drug problems. And then when he got popped with OxyContin, it became poor Rush, because he's a GOP mouthpiece. And he's not your typical person with a problem. He really has pain. Yeah, I know a doctor that was a consultant on the case, and if Rush didn't have his money, he'd be in prison right now. He broke the law, but because he's a GOP mouthpiece, he gets a pass. Now, if he were a Democrat, let's use Al Franken again. Same guy. Oh my God! Done. He wouldn't have a life anymore in public speaking. He'd be over and done with. Now, it just blows me away that the GOP gives themselves a pass for everything that they do. And the Democrats, cowardly, spineless bastards, don't hold their feet to the fire. They let them get away with it. The Republican Party plays dirty politics. Dirty, nasty politics. They attack anyone that disagrees with them vehemently. Vehemently. And repeatedly. And they call the media a right-wing liberal media. Right. No, that's not the case. The media is clearly controlled by the GOP. And if the Democrats had a spine, I don't know, maybe we in this country could make some progress. I don't know. God bless you all. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And then just start seeing for yourself. Just start doing your own comparison. Yeah, well, what if Bill Clinton refused to testify under oath about that Monica Lewinsky girl and chose to do it behind closed doors? The Republicans would have ate his lunch. George W. Bush, he gets a pass. Oh, we just want to have a conversation with you about the 9/11 thing. Well, I'm not going to do it under oath. I'm not going to do it alone. I'm going to bring in Dick. Well, we kind of wanted to do it with just you and then him. No, we're going to come in together, not under oath. And we're just going to have a conversation. See, open up your eyes.